Hey friends, today I want to share with you a story of how I really thought that I was going to be single for the rest of my life, and just when I was about to give up on the idea of really being with somebody for the rest of my life and getting married, that's when I met my wife today. And going back, thinking back, I think it attributed to just one kind of change of belief, or I remember a specific thought, and that's how, and looking back, it all makes sense. So I'm going to share that with you, but just a little bit, in the about my dating life history. Basically, growing up, I wasn't really a popular kid, um, just like a nerdy kid at school. Had a first crush in 8th grade. Don't know why I was listening to like soft music. I was like, the song was called One More Try or something. And I remember tearing and crying. I don't really know why. I had this crush on this girl, and I put all my emotion and love with this girl, but she really doesn't even know anything of me. I think she catch me looking at her a couple of times, or know that I like her, but it's weird. I think it just has to do with, my mom and dad divorced early when I was a little kid, so I didn't have a father figure. Growing up with my mom, she always worked, so I never had a love for my mom. So I think it's that lack of love, and I would say that has to do with a lot of Asian people, meaning our Asian family, we're always tough love, and you never have that kind of like that complete love. So, you always tend to grow up and put all that love and expectation on somebody, that you have a crush on. So in junior high, had a crush on this girl. She probably doesn't even know I exist. But and then high school, had a crush on somebody. Freshman, and then it wasn't until probably sophomore year that I dated a girl. Um, but dating this and that, I realized as I got older, I became more picky, as what I want. And sometimes you date girls, or you date a guy or girl. Sometimes in the back of your head, you know that this is not the one for you, whether it is their personality or something, or they're selfish, or whatever the reason is in your mind. This is not the one for you, but then you still date. I mean, their personality is great, you get along, you still date. I date for a year or 2 years, but you just never thought that this is the one for you, right? And just society of how you could just never trust a girl or a guy, whatever. But you just never felt like you can trust a person with your heart, and you can find someone that you can really be with. I don't know why I had that kind of thinking, but I was, um, and then I had a 25, about 24, 25 years old, and then I dated this one girl. She was really beautiful, but she was beautiful on the outside, the most beautiful person on the outside, but also the ugliest person in the inside. She stole from my family, lies to me, cheat on me, and she was young. She was like probably 19 years old, and I was 24, 20, around there, and that kind of like made me really tired. Well, I didn't want any more young girls, first of all, and then it just made me really tired of relationship. And I remember saying to myself, and I think this is the moment that really changed everything and really made me attract to my wife today, was the moment I remember just saying to myself that I really think that there's a possibility that I'm going to be single forever. And I think I'm okay with that. And I think at the moment when I realized that I'm okay with being alone, and I would be happy and feel complete, I think that is the moment. And 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 then very short time after that, I met my wife today. And And just looking back to seeing how that works, it makes a lot of sense. Is that a lot of time you hear people say like, oh, I'm not complete until I find that other half. I'm not complete until I find someone that loves me. So when you say that and that's what you feel, that means you feel half, you feel incomplete. So when you feel incomplete, you radiate an energy of incompleteness. So therefore, you attract people that are also incomplete also. So it's actually opposite. If we really want to attract somebody into our lives, we got to learn how to love ourselves, right? And we hear that all the time, right? We hear you have to learn how to love yourself before you can love another person. But we really don't understand the mechanics of it. We say it all the time. But in terms of energy, if we are feeling that we're lacking, that we're feeling that we're just half, until we meet somebody that can love us, right? And supposed to fulfill everything that we have been missing. First of all, that's the wrong expectation, right? No one can fulfill and love us when they don't even know how to love themselves. They can't even figure it out for themselves. How is it that they're gonna fulfill everything that you need? And I learned that at a very young age. It's weird. I remember dating my first girlfriend. Now I was like 16 or something, and then we broke up, and then I just realized something just in my head. And I called her up. I'm like, hey, I have to tell you something. Just meet me up. I realized something. And then I met her up and I told her, I had a good talk with her. And this is like 16, 17 year old, very young, 17. And then I told her basically, I don't know if you do this, but I don't know why when we were dating, whenever we're mad about something or about little things, and then I'll pretend to get mad, right? Or make it bigger than it is. And then when the girl doesn't try to make me feel better, I get even more mad. I get even more angry. I felt like she doesn't care for me. So it's not even the initial thing that we get mad about. It just you just get mad because they don't know how to make you feel better, or they don't know what you're mad about, right? Are you familiar with that? And I keep on doing that. And I ask myself, why do I always give that person trouble? And I keep on thinking, and then I kind of realize what it is. It's really me, right? I, been lacking love, obviously, from my childhood. So, I didn't have the dad, the mom. So there's a lack of love. So we tend, or I did, want to put it on my girlfriend or whoever I date. And you expect that person to know how to make you feel better, what ticks you off, but there's no way that they can, because they don't know what you're going through, and everyone's different. And secondly, it's unfair. It's unfair for them to constantly have to baby you and kind of make you feel better in that way. So I realized that was my part, that what I was doing. So so that kind of goes back to kind of have to know yourself and love yourself first before you can attract that person that loves you. Because a lot of us, we never analyze why we do the things we do, and our expectation. Love and should be where we are fulfilled, you are fulfilled, and the other person's fulfilled. We come together and we share a lot of similarities, and we enjoy life together. It's not there's no one guy or girl out there that's going to make up for everything that you've been missing. That's the wrong way of thinking. A lot of us sit and depress, and why is it that I can't find someone that loves me? Why is it the other people are hooked up and married, and why can't I find someone that loves me? I think that's the wrong approach, because by saying that, what you're saying is that, what's wrong with me, right? How come there's no one that loves me? And by thinking like that, that's already saying that you're not complete and you're not love yourself. The person that should love you more than anything is yourself. And until you say, and you can say to yourself that I love myself, no matter what happens, right? Even though if I can't find anyone that is good enough for me, I can't find anyone that matches me, I'm still happy as is. And if you live your life like that, I can almost assure that you're going to attract the right person. And if you don't, that's okay too. But most likely, you're going to attract people with the same energy and the same thinking. But if you don't, if you're thinking that you gotta have this person to fulfill certain things about you, well, guess what? You're going to attract a very similar person. You're gonna, attract that person that needs that attention and that's just mixed up in their head just as much as you. And when two people come together and they're both confused, how can they make each other happy? They can't even make themselves happy. They don't even know what the things that they do. They don't even know why they feel the way that they are. They don't know why they're so jealous. They don't know why they're giving you a hard time. So how can two people that need help come together and have a good relationship? So I think that's a very good lesson, and it makes sense. It makes sense. So in short, basically, we have to learn how to be comfortable by ourselves. We have to learn how to love ourselves. And when we are truly happy with ourselves, we can go out there and do things by ourselves. And that's the thing too. I had a friend, she's young, she's probably early 20s, and then she's having trouble with her relationship. And I told her, to spend time by herself and do things by herself, and for time for herself. And I told her how I go do things by myself, and she made a comment, and she's like, oh, I can't go by myself, I never want to do anything by myself, and it was something along that line. And I told her, if you're not comfortable by yourself and you're not comfortable hanging by yourself or hanging out with you and be entertained by yourself, what makes you think that other people want to hang out with you? It's, if you're not even pleasant to hang out and be excited to hang out with yourself, go to the beach, have a walk, or do something on that line, what makes you, that doesn't make any sense. Why would other people want to hang out with you if you don't even want to hang out with yourself? So I thought that was, it kind of goes together, right? So have time for yourself, listen to audiobooks, do the things that you're passionate about, whether it's music, singing, hobbies, or something. That is a way, and you're demonstrating that you are comfortable with yourself, and you're just happy with yourself. And by being that way, you're going to attract more people with the same vibration, same energy, same way of thinking. So I truly think that in order to attract the love of your life, it starts from within. We need to learn how to love each other, ourselves more, before we can learn how to love somebody else. So that's what I truly think. I'd love to know what your experiences are. What is your experience? What is your take on that, about loving yourself more, spending time with yourself, and attracting a good boyfriend or girlfriend? I'd love to hear your story. I want to share that quick story with you. Hopefully that resonate with you, and I'd love to hear from you, and talk to you soon.